You've heard about the 50-year-old Saudi Arabian who drove through a crowded Christmas market in Magdeburg, Germany. He killed 9-year-old Andre, along with 4 adults. He injured 200 other people, 41 of them critically, so the death toll could rise. Religious leaders and heads of states say their thoughts are with the victims. They're warning us against hate. Their thoughts won't do a lick of good. And who are we allowed to hate if not an Arab who slaughters people celebrating the holiest season in all of Europe? There was even a German official who blamed the attack, believe it or not, on Elon Musk. The Christmas market had been barricaded to stop car attacks, but police left open a small opening for emergency vehicles in case a Muslim went wild with a knife. That opening was in the lower left, where it says, "Car enters market." The killer, Taleb al-Abdul Mohsen, rampaged through the crowd for almost a quarter of a mile. This was the car he used in the attack, and this is what the Christmas market looked like the morning after. The perp, this is his Saudi passport, is reportedly a psychiatrist who has lived in Germany since 2006. The BBC explains that the German police knew all about him. In 2013, he was sentenced for disturbing the public peace by threatening to commit crimes, though I can't find out what those crimes were. That didn't stop him from getting asylum just 3 years later. The Saudi government warned the Germans that Taleb was a dangerous crazy. And just last year, the head of the Federal Criminal Police Office said Taleb had various contacts with authorities, insulted them, and even made threats, but he was not known for violent acts. The Daily Mail says Taleb was a Muslim apostate who spent all his spare time helping Saudi ex-Muslims apply for refugee status in Europe. You see, theoretically, a Muslim who leaves the faith can be executed, but the last time that happened was 39 years ago to this guy in Sudan. Just 5 days before the attack, Taleb was complaining on X. If a Syrian citizen applies for asylum in Germany, the chance to be granted asylum is 99.8%, while if a Saudi citizen applies for asylum in Germany, that chance is only 70%. He wrote that he couldn't think of a peaceful way to teach Germans to let in more Saudis. 70%? Not enough. "Revenge will come soon," he wrote, "even if it costs me my life. I will make the German nation pay the price of the crimes committed by its government against Saudi refugees." Taleb ran a website. It's in Arabic, and this is a translation, explaining to Muslims how to get asylum. Here he explains that in Britain, you can get up to £2,000 a month if you play your cards right, and full housing benefits, all while you wait for asylum. In his 5th item from the top, Taleb explains one of the joys of Europe, legal prostitution. Providing sexual services to adults in countries that allow it is a legal profession that does not diminish the respect of those who practice it. Yes, this is the creep who slaughtered Germans to teach them to be nice to Saudis. We got the usual mountain of flowers. I'm sick of mountains of flowers. And we got a solemn service at the Magdeburg Cathedral where the bishop said that Germany was helpless and fearful, uncertain and desperate, speechless and stunned. And in the front row were German bigwigs, including Chancellor Olaf Scholz, second from the left, no doubt also speechless and stunned. Why didn't a single person in the congregation stand up and shout back, "I'm not speechless and stunned. I'm hopping mad, and you should be too." The German Bishops' Conference issued a statement. The inhumane attack in Magdeburg leaves us stunned. Pope Francis expresses his participation in the grief of those affected and assures all the victims his spiritual closeness. Chancellor Scholz hastened to express the solidarity of the entire country, adding, "We should not allow those who wish to sow hate to do so." That's you, by the way, if you're angry about the massacre. A high-ranking Scholz ally, Dirk Weiss, warned against jumping to conclusions because the attacker wasn't an Islamist. I guess that makes mass murder okay. Nancy Faeser, German Interior Minister, said, "Our thoughts are with the victims and their families." She's getting good at that. There she is in the back row on crutches in Solingen at a wreath laying just 3 months ago after a Syrian hacked 3 Germans to death and wounded 8 others. Keir Starmer, British Prime Minister, wrote, "My thoughts are with the victims, their families, and all those affected." Swedish Prime Minister Ulf Kristersson posted, "My thoughts are with the victims and their families." But not for long. His very next post was, "Great to be in northern Finland today." There he is, second from the right. Emmanuel Macron expressed his profound shock at the attack. What a dope. Just last year, Arabs in France roasted trams and burned buses and torched 2,500 buildings, including 209 police stations. France had its first Arab riot in 1979, with especially nasty ones in 2005, 2009, and 2017. Not to mention the Bataclan massacre in Paris, when Arabs killed 130 people and injured 416. Another mountain of flowers. Uh-oh, here's another one. In Nice, where a Tunisian in a 19-ton truck mowed down Frenchmen celebrating Bastille Day, killing 86 and injuring 434. But Macron is profoundly shocked. The biggest idiot is surely Miguel Berger, the German ambassador to the UK, who said ex-owner Elon Musk had questions to answer about why his platform had not taken action against Al Abdul Mohsen. We have seen that the man who committed this terrible attack was extremely active, threatening on X. What? Elon Musk was supposed to censor him? The Germans should be grateful he didn't. Taleb was out in the open being crazy. It was their job to do something about him. Ordinary Europeans are having none of this rubbish. When Chancellor Scholz and Interior Minister Nancy came to Magdeburg to strew flowers, they were shouted out of town by citizens who called them criminals and murderers. The day after the massacre, 2,000 nationalists showed up in Magdeburg with a huge remigration banner. Migration kills, they said. They're right. Germans have been forced to grovel ever since the end of the Second World War, but they're waking up. The Alternative for Deutschland, or AfD, is a party that says the obvious. Germany should be for Germans. The country is having elections in February, and polls say that the AfD leader, Alice Weidel, shown at the bottom, is in the lead for chancellor. The party is the second most popular nationwide. And what are the other parties doing about that? Just last month, we got German lawmakers initiate process to ban far-right AfD party. 113 lawmakers submitted a petition claiming it's a threat to democracy. Incredible. When Germans vote against traitors, that's a threat to democracy. What could be more contemptible? I don't care what Taleb's motives were. He should never have been in Germany. He is not us. He can't be us. And he hates us. I don't care how many of his people aren't killers or rapists or welfare bums or insult European women or actually learn German. We owe them nothing. When's the last time you ever heard of a European going to some third world country and trying to kill as many people as possible? Doesn't happen, does it? But it happens over and over in our countries, and our leaders are speechless and stunned. What spineless fools. Remigration is the only route to European survival. Germans, it's up to you to see to it that little Andre did not die in vain. Ausländer raus, foreigners out.